Today marks 2 weeks since Israel officials declared war on Hamas. However, this conflict did not spark out of thin air. Fox 43's Logan Perrone joins us after speaking with an expert on Middle Eastern history to unearth the roots of the fighting. Logan.
Yeah, Amy, the fighting has occurred for several decades, though tensions were rising as early as the late 19th century. Today, I spoke with a history professor to help get a better understanding of the roots of the current war. Thousands are dead and more wounded as the latest escalations between Hamas and Israel continue to unfold. To understand that, we turn to Dr. Brian Ulrich, who teaches Middle Eastern and Islamic history at Shippensburg University. Dr. Ulrich says the tensions began in the 1880s when Zionism, the realization of a Jewish nation, rose in response to European anti-Semitism.
That wound up being conceived of as returning from a condition of diaspora to return to the land of Israel, which at that time was commonly called by the inhabitants Palestine.
According to the Council on Foreign Relations, following World War II and the Holocaust, the United Nations drafted the Partition Plan to divide Palestine into Arab and Jewish states. Zionisms accepted the plan. Palestinian Arabs did not.
The Arab world did not accept this because from their standpoint, this was not a UN decision to make. That they had come to see the Jewish settlers primarily as sort of a cat's paw of British colonialism.
This led to the first Arab-Israeli war, which Zionist forces won, leading to the creation of the State of Israel. The Gaza Strip and West Bank would come into existence under the United Nations armistice lines in 1949 in a map that resembles the region today.
What happens in 1948 and 1949? You had, when you're dealing with Zionist immigration, you had an existing population of Palestinians.
During the conflict, more than 7,000 Palestinian refugees were forced from their homes, with families still being displaced decades later. Tensions arose again in 1967 during what's known as the Six-Day War, which saw Israel take more control in the region.
They developed a doctrine of preemptive warfare, like if we think we're going to get attacked, we have to strike first. But this leads to them occupying not only the Gaza Strip, but the Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank, and the Golan Heights of Syria as well.
2.5 decades of geopolitical moves takes us to 1993, when Israel and the Palestinian Liberation Organization agreed to the creation of the Palestinian Authority to rule the Gaza Strip and West Bank. Hamas, an Islamic militant group, took control of the Gaza Strip in the summer of 2007 after Israel and Egypt began a blockade of the region in 2005, which still exists today. Israel and Hamas have been in constant conflict ever since, ultimately escalating to a full-fledged war this month.
I, unfortunately, don't have any good solutions. I don't see a resolution happening in the near future.
Now, this is more than 130 years of history, which cannot be fully fleshed out in just a couple of minutes. We'll have the full interview with Dr. Ulrich on our website, fox43.com. There you can also find a link to the Council on Foreign Relations' full account of the Israel-Palestine conflict. In the studio, Logan Perrone, Fox 43 News.